Thank you so much. And now, Lynda Dahl.
But what I'm going to do today is break my talk into two parts. And the first part will be Seth's ideas and concepts on certain things. And I'm not going to editorialize much during that part. We'll save it for later, because the second part is going to be the practicality of everything that we talk about. That's the primary focus on of my life. And of course, you have to get through the concepts in order to understand the practicality of them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with, we're just going to start. Seth told us, and I quote, "You have the power to change your life and the world for the better." And in his books, he told us how to do it. He did not give us esoteric instructions that skim the surface of physical reality. He got right into teaching us how to handle our suffering, not how to just abide it. Seth says, it appears to the ego that action is not only separate from itself, but that action is initiated by the ego and is a result rather than a cause of ego's own existence and experience. And he says, when the ego gives up its hold upon what it considers control of action, almost any action is possible. Seth said to Jane and Rob, and I think it applies to most of us, if not all of us, you recognized the overall vitality of our material, but you did not realize that it meant a complete reorientation of your attitudes. You did not realize that you were being given, that you were being presented not merely with an alternate view of reality, but with the closest approximation you could get of what reality was and how it worked and what it meant. And he says, in the true expansion of consciousness, the ego becomes more and more aware, more conscious of inner realities that were previously never realized on a conscious level. And he says, no consciousness expansion can occur unless the ego structure is so altered. And he says this, when you get to the point that you realize you are forming your day-to-day existence and the life that you know, then you can begin to alter your own mental and psychic patterns, and therefore your daily environment will change. The entire structure of your existence will begin to change with these realizations, and an acceleration of spiritual and psychic growth will develop. And one final word from Seth, which we heard earlier. Such manuscripts as mine are meant to help you do precisely that. This is what we have come here to learn. And what it brings to us, once learned, is a confidence and trust in ourselves and our ability to function safely within our realities with a degree of growth perhaps never before experienced. A confidence and trust that we can now work with in a practical way. And that change is another step toward becoming what Seth calls a new kind of consciousness. The good news is that our inner self acts as a moderator for our suggestions. It sends signals when we're straying off course. And those signals are intuition, dreams, impulses, stuff like that. And sometimes, Seth says, it will send additional energy with the hope of helping us moderate the path forward. The bad news is that our inner self will not make our decisions or changes for us. We participate equally. We are a partner with our inner self.